Coming up next is Terry Payne with some public information you might find interesting.
Well, we're here at this beautiful setting on Stonebridge Road off of Park Avenue to talk about, of all things, manholes. Now, a lot of us don't know much about manholes, much less their maintenance and rehabilitation, but I'm with someone who does. I'd like to welcome Nathan Neighbors, who's the project inspector for the engineering division.
Good morning. Well, what we'll talk about, I guess, is the manhole rehabilitation project that's going on.
What is that all about?
Okay, first of all, the manhole rehabilitation project is a multifaceted endeavor that is concerning and geared toward the rehabilitation and restoration of our manhole infrastructure in our wastewater collection system. Now, these projects are generally triggered with the goal in mind to restore or actually reduce levels of I&I, which is inflow and infiltration in the manhole, as well as restoring key components of our infrastructure. Now, by restoring these key components of infrastructure in the city, which in this case is manholes, we're turning wastewater infrastructure rehabilitation into a financially beneficial practice while maintaining desired levels of service to our citizens as well as regulatory compliance. And you know as well as I do, wastewater collection systems are an extremely valuable capital asset to any municipality, especially the city of Hot Springs.
Yes, a very viable part of our operations.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned I&I. What is that exactly?
I&I is actually inflow and infiltration. According to industry standards, 50% of I&I is due to defects in our manhole systems. Inflow is actually, if you can picture stormwater or rushing water here, that get into your manhole systems. They can come in through foundation drainage, cross-connection ties in stormwater boxes, even rushing over the top of the manhole, dropping down into the manhole. Infiltration is when water seeps into the manhole itself through cracks in the piping, faulty joints, pinholes inside the manhole is where water comes in. Now, I&I is basically something that is caused due to aging infrastructure that needs maintenance or in a lot of cases replacement. And that's what this project is about, is assessing our needs and addressing our needs.
I had no idea, I did not have any idea how many different ways you could have I&I take place.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about manholes. How many do we have in the city, and how many are you planning to rehabilitate?
Okay, in this particular instance, our city system, or our system, actually has 12,000 manholes. In this particular project, we're going to rehab over 1,860 manholes, and we've put $3.4 million into these efforts, which sounds like a lot, but however, already our preliminary data that we've collected is showing a fantastic yield on our dollar per gallon of I&I rate already. And so with 12,000 manholes in our city, this is not just a project that's done immediately and we're not going to have to revisit it. This should be an ongoing practice to keep us, in good standing with ADEQ and EPA.
Well, this is right in line with the city's other efforts in water and wastewater, where we're trying to do a better job at taking care of our infrastructure on an ongoing basis, right?
Exactly. It kind of fits into that master plan.
Right. Well, can we get into some specifics here? How exactly do you rehab a manhole?
Okay, well, if you're driving around town, you see these crews, you've seen these crews everywhere, and I've had lots of citizens call or ask, what are we doing? What are they doing? And a lot of times when you're driving out, they're doing a number of amount of things, and it's actually incredible to think that there's this many things or efforts that can go into manhole rehabilitation. What you see them doing around town, a lot of times they're either adjusting frames, adjusting covers, replacing frames, replacing covers. They're grouting the insides of the manholes. They are replacing the troughs, replacing the benches, partial replacement of the manhole, complete replacement of the manhole. They're even applying two types of coatings depending on the need of each manhole. Each manhole's been assessed on what type of coating it will need. We have an epoxy coating that we apply if there is hydrogen sulfate present, which means we come in, we pop the manhole, we see that the aggregate is exposed due to the high levels of methane gas. We go ahead and we place the epoxy. In your general cases, we're using a cementitious coating, which is kind of like a cement type coating that goes onto the inside part of the manhole, which is for general cases and what you'll see. So their efforts are basically, they're doing something different almost at every manhole. They're doing it in different ways, different units, and we're making good progress on the project and have started to see great results, you know, for our gallon, $1 per gallon of I&I results already. So it's good to see a project that's going on that we're already seeing our goals start to become accomplished.
How wonderful. Now, in layman's terms, why would you coat a manhole?
Basically, when we're going to come back and we're going to test them to make sure that they are vacuum sealed to reduce I&I. This is all in an effort, you know, a lot of times to reduce I&I. So when we've coated it, we're saying this thing is airtight, you know, for it's in not allowing anything to eradicate or to come into the manhole as far as water.
Now, when you're overseeing, because you're overseeing the project as they go from one manhole to the next, if you're overseeing a manhole rehab, how long can one take?
These guys can actually, per manhole, depending on what they are doing, but at some points right now at this stage in the project, they're 15 minutes to 20 minutes at most a manhole, and then they're on to the next one.
That's fast.
And we have it mapped out every day. We're doing about 30 to 40 or 20 to 30 manholes a day in separate basins throughout the city.
And this is pretty much what you're doing all day, every day right now?
Well, actually, that's kind of just where I'm allocating about 60 to 70% of my time throughout on daily routines. It's routine inspections and then random inspections on the project.
Well, thank you for explaining the process of manhole rehabilitation today. It's really an interesting process, and if the public has any questions about it, Nathan, what number can they call?
They can call the engineering department at 321-6861.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us today, and next week we'll join you with more city news.